Hey everybody, what's going on? And let me know if you guys can see me, if you can hear me well. Today we're going to do a little bit, talk a little bit about sponsored products. This is one of the areas where I find people have a lot of questions, and so I wanted to do this little whiteboard Monday session, talk a little PPC. Let me know when I write, if you can see it, if it looks correct to you. So one of the things I want to talk about today is search terms versus keywords and what are the differences. Hopefully this can help you in your sponsored ad campaign. So let's talk a little bit about this. Keywords versus search terms. All right, so let's see if we know what the difference is. I see Nate here. I see Andy here. And again, let me know if you can see the text and it looks good to you, and not backwards. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the difference. Hey Mary, good to see you. If you guys have any questions on sponsored products or headline ads, comment, and if I see the comments running, I'll try to answer those questions. All right, so let's talk a little bit about keywords versus search terms. So keywords are the words that you choose to put into your campaigns. Okay, so when you set up a sponsored ad campaign, you're going to set up, if you're setting up an auto campaign, that's going to run on a broad match. Okay, so what is a broad match keyword? Let's talk about that. So all your auto campaigns are running on broad. Okay, so broad match campaigns. Let's take an example of the word speaker. Let's say you have a Bluetooth speaker as your product, and let's say you take the word speaker and put it into your broad match campaign. That's going to trigger your ad to show up when customers are searching for lots of different things. It's a broad match term. So what does that mean? It means that when somebody searches, as long as the word speaker is somewhere in that customer search, your ad can possibly show up. So, for example, if somebody searches for red speaker, okay, that could trigger your ad to show up. Okay, if somebody searches blue speaker or large blue speaker, okay, all those things can trigger your ad to show up in sponsored products, right? So speaker is going to be the keyword that you chose, and then all these terms like red speaker, blue speaker, large blue speaker, these are all your search terms, okay? And where do you get those search terms? You're going to want to get them from your search term report. If you never download or look at your search term report, you're never really going to be able to optimize your sponsored product campaigns. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're downloading that report regularly. I look at the reports every 7 to 10 days to optimize my campaigns. So that's a broad match, and these are the search terms. And so that's why one of the most common questions I get is, my keyword is not performing well. My ACoS is high. Should I pause the keyword? And the answer is always going to be no, don't pause the keyword. What you really need to do is you need to look at your search term report and find the actual search terms that customers are searching for that are not maybe converting well. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you might have, let's just say for an example, you have a 60% ACoS, advertising cost to sales, on the keyword speaker. Should you pause that keyword? Well, you would think it makes sense. Yeah, I should pause that keyword. That's a very high ACoS, and I don't want to spend my money on that word. But maybe hidden there are search terms. Maybe red speaker is converting really, really well at 10% because your speaker is actually red. But maybe all your wasted money is going towards search terms like blue speaker and large Bluetooth speaker. Okay, so that means that what you don't want to do is you don't want to cause speaker, because speaker is throwing off terms, search terms like red speaker. But you do want to get rid of keywords, search terms, blue speaker and large Bluetooth speaker. So what you want to do is you want to take these search terms, blue speaker and large blue speaker, and you want to add them as negative keywords. Okay, so you never just want to pause a keyword unless it's an exact match keyword. based on the ACoS that you're seeing in your campaigns, you always want to download the search term report. You want to find the actual search terms that are not doing well, that are contributing to what I call wasted ad spend. Search terms where you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clicks. You've spent $9, $10, $11, $12. You've had enough impressions, at least over 1,000 impressions. You've had enough clicks to see that this is a search term that's not relevant or that's not converting. So negative keywords, like Andy says in the chat here, negative keywords are super powerful. And so the keywords that you're adding to your campaigns do not equal the search terms that customers are actually searching for. So let's talk a little bit about the other types of matches that you have. So when you're running auto campaigns, hopefully you got all that. When you're running auto campaigns, okay, you always have broad match keywords, okay, and Amazon is doing the choosing for you. When you're running manual campaigns, you have the ability to run broad phrase and exact match keywords. So let's just talk a little bit about the differences. So manual campaign, broad, phrase, and exact. Okay, so let's take a look at what the differences are. Okay, so let's say my product is a Bluetooth speaker, and I target Bluetooth speaker as a broad match. Okay, as a keyword, I'm going to target Bluetooth speaker for all these. Okay, so I'm going to put Bluetooth speaker as a broad match campaign. Okay, so that means any search term that a customer does that has both the word Bluetooth and speaker. Hey Carrie, good to see you here. Bluetooth and speaker in it can trigger a broad match. So red, Bluetooth, large, speaker has both these words anywhere in this customer search term. That means that it can trigger your ad to show up because you chose the Bluetooth speaker as a broad match, and Bluetooth and speaker are somewhere within that customer search. When we're talking about a phrase match, if somebody does this search, red, Bluetooth, large speaker, and I have Bluetooth speaker as a phrase match, then my ad will not show up. Why? Because Bluetooth and speaker have to be together. They have to be together in a phrase. So that means if somebody searches for large Bluetooth speaker, that can trigger my ad. Because Bluetooth and speaker are together. Okay? Or large Bluetooth speaker in red can also trigger my ad. But if the words are not right next to each other, like red, Bluetooth, large speaker, then my ad will not show. Okay, so that's phrase match. So phrase match is more targeted than a broad match campaign. So why would you do broad and phrase? Because when you do a broad campaign, you're casting a wide net to kind of see, let me just put some words out there related to my product. Let me see what customer search terms come back. Let me gather a lot of data. And then after I gather that data, I can kind of go more targeted based on what I see are the best converting search terms from the search term report. Okay, and then exact match has to be pretty much almost exactly what you're targeting. So if you're targeting Bluetooth speaker, then your ad is only going to show up when somebody searches for Bluetooth speaker without anything in front. So red Bluetooth speaker is not going to show up, red Bluetooth speaker large, your ad is not going to trigger, but certain things like singular and plurals can trigger your ad. So for example, Bluetooth speakers can still trigger your exact match ad, even if it's not exactly the keyword you're targeting. So exact match can be singular and plural can still trigger your ad. Okay, so just wanted to do this quick presentation here about the difference between keywords and search terms. So understand that keywords are the information that you're giving Amazon, you're giving the advertising platform to target, and then search terms is actually what is being triggered based on the keywords that you've given the system. So if you're giving phrase and broad match keywords, then that means that Eddie says, keep it going, helping out my red speaker sales. Yeah, everyone go out and buy Eddie's red speakers. So that means when you're giving the system phrase match and broad match keywords, then that's going to spit out a lot of different search terms that customers are searching for that are going to trigger your ad, which means that there's no way for you to really optimize your sponsored product campaigns without delving deeper and going and looking at those search term reports on a regular basis, so that you can pull all that data of what customers are actually searching for, find the search terms that are converting well, so you can find some new words that way that you can now add as phrase and exact match keywords. And you can also add negative keywords. You can find those customer terms that are not relevant, that are not converting on your product, and that are that you want to add as negative keywords to eliminate wasted ad spend. And then understanding the difference between broad phrase and exact match keywords is really important when you're doing sponsored products. One thing that you want to always pay attention to and keep in mind is that ultimately, if your foundation is not good, then it doesn't matter how good you are at sponsored product campaigns, your results are still going to be poor. What does that mean? It means ultimately, if your listing is not great, right? If you don't have great copy, if you don't have great images, if your pricing is much higher than all your competitors and kind of doesn't make sense, if you don't have the buy box, obviously sponsored products won't show at all. But if your foundation is not strong, right? It's like building a house. If you first need a really solid foundation, if your foundation is really poor, then ultimately even the best person optimizing your PPC campaigns is going to have a very difficult time, because ultimately if you're not converting your traffic, then ultimately you're not going to do well with your ads. So one of the things that you may want to look at is you may want to look at your business reports. Okay, so one area you can go to is your reports. Okay, so what do you want to look for? Well, you want to find your products that actually are converting well. If you're just starting with sponsored products, go find your products first that are converting well. So you go into your reports and then business reports. And you want to go into traffic by ASIN. And you want to look at your sessions and your unit session percentage. Okay? Your unit session percentage is going to be your conversion rate. Okay? So you want to look at your total sessions, your total visitors over, let's say, the last month, and then you want to take a look at your unit session percentage, your conversion rate. And then, look for your products that have the best conversion rates, and those are going to be ideal for getting, sending more traffic to and converting and getting the best bang for your buck in terms of your sponsored products. If you have products that are just not converting well, they may not be good for sponsored products, because maybe your listing is not optimized. Maybe you need to rewrite your listing. Maybe you need better images. Maybe your pricing. Maybe you have poor reviews, or maybe you don't have reviews. So there's a lot of factors that you need to look at before you do sponsored products to make sure that your listings are properly optimized. So Dan says business reports, good information. Mary says love these live college courses and free. Thank you. And what I want to do is I want to start doing these. I don't know, we can call them Whiteboard Mondays, or they might be impromptu whiteboard sessions, but I want to cover more topics that you guys have questions on, or that you guys want to see. Maybe some topics are easier to see on a whiteboard. So if you guys have any more questions or any other topics that you want to see on a whiteboard Facebook Live, let me know. I'll be happy to do some quick sort of 15-minute sessions here in the group. So hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for all the hearts and the likes, everybody. And if you have any follow-up questions to this regarding sponsored products, post them in this Facebook Live. Post them in the comments. I'll look at it, and then I can do a follow-up Facebook Live session to go over some more information on sponsored products. All right, guys. Hope you have a fantastic Monday, and we'll see you in the group.